Hey there guys, we're going to be going back to Scorn of Asura on the global server. I already did my first clear with, Ibarra and Terra. We're going to be doing a re-clear using some physical damage dealers this time. We're going to use Kingdom Hearts Sora. He's a unit that I have not really used on trials past like turn 3. I've never used him on a trial that can actually survive his LB. Well, this one definitely can. This is going to be a bit of a longer clear, but we're going to use him. And we're going to mix up the rest of the team from my first clear, with the exception of Gabranth. Now, I did get some comments. What if you don't have Gabranth? Who do you use instead? Well, the realistic answer is, on global at the current time, Gabranth is kind of the only tank in the game that can, realistically tank this fight and not just die every turn with re-raise. There's probably ways to do it with, like a cheese strategy using a 7-star tank or a bunch of Mirage and all that. But as far as just doing the trial, normally without a bunch of deaths, it's kind of just Gabranth. You can use a friend unit Gabranth and bring your own chainers. It would just probably be a little bit slower. It's hard to gear 2 friend units if you're not like some super whale. But, that is the way to do it. There's no turn limit. You could go a slower clear with a friend Gabranth, bring your own 2 chainers and get it done. Or you could wait for the new tanks coming later, like Neovision's Snow or the Neovision's Awakening of Gladiolus. But let's focus on the clear we're about to do right now. So my Gabranth has not changed. His gear is the same. We've got a lot of resistance, a lot of high hit points and defense. He's going to be very bulky. You could grab a friend if you don't have your own. We're going to use Benevolent Beauty Rem. She is going to be sealing most of the elements. In her kit, she has fire, ice, lightning, wind, naturally. We've got her on Kokuryu to learn earth, dark, and water element. That gives her a 7 out of the 8 elements. The only thing she's missing is holy. And we're going to be chaining, light element with our chainers. So that covers all 8 elements for phase 1. Now notice the mana costs are really low for her skills because she is using some mana reduction gear. That's optional. It just means that she gets mana drained. We don't got to waste actions on Fina to fill her mana back up. She can always seal the boss. And she's using full evasion so that she won't die to the single target attack after she gets all dispelled. I should mention real quick, I have seen some comments, people saying my seal unit is getting killed. What's going wrong? Your physical tank, because the counters happen on your own turn, your physical tank has not activated cover yet, so covering a single target counter on your turn does have a chance to fail, because I'll show you right here. Your Gabranth chance to cover is 80% chance of taking damage, means there's a 20% chance that on the single target counter turns, your Gabranth has a 20% chance to not cover the counter in time, which will lead to your provoker, your sealing unit getting killed. There's no good way around that. You can give the counter unit guts, and that way at least buy you 1 get out of jail free card or more if you can equip more guts. But we're not going to use guts. We're going to just hope Gabranth is not slow at covering. If he is, we'll raise Rem and keep going. It'll of course fail the no death mission, but we're going to keep going if that happens. Hopefully it doesn't though. Lotus Mage Fina is going to be our healer. She's got lots of Esper fills. She's going to fill mana. She's going to buff resistance. Do re-raise for emergencies. That kind of stuff. Really about it. Lauren is going to be our breaker. You can use any breaker you want. This is the most flexible slot of all. You could bring, well, literally any breaker in the game you want. We're choosing Lauren because she can do a 130% light imperil, which means Sora's LBs will be a little bit stronger than usual by a stronger light imperil. And we gave her a weapon that does poison and disease, because phase 1 can be disease, phase 2 can be poisoned. It's convenient. You can use Itachi's TMR if your breaker can equip it. You could use Thorn Mace if your breaker can equip it. There's other ways. Summer Whip is just a convenient way because it has both, and I gave her Equip Whip so she could actually use it. Other than that, Esperfill gear, she's not here for damage. And then Sora, he is going to be chaining in base form and then using his LB in the shift form. We've geared him for as many killers as possible. 300 human, 175 demon, 175 reaper. Shift form, LB focus build. He builds really easily for limit burst, assuming you have his STMR. I do, thanks to the shard dungeon. 300 human, 225 reaper, and 175 demon. And we're taking Mr. Snake. He built one as well. Basically the same build, very similar, maybe even identical. Is it identical? I think it is identical. 300 human, 175 demon, 175 reaper, shift form. Oh no, he's got 11 sword. Oh well, close enough. And we've got 225, 300, 175. There we go. Alright, let's give this a try and see how long it takes Sora. Now this is probably going to be a slower clear than my Ibarra Terra clear. For one thing, we're only using 2 DPS units instead of 3. But also, Sora is more like a burster unit, not really all about his consistent damage. But we're gonna make it work. Hopefully. We'll see. So we're gonna go ahead and put up Rim to soak the counters. You don't need a seal on turn 1, but we do want to eat the counters on turn 1. So we're gonna use her for that. Gabranth will put up all his stuff. That's physical mitt, general mitt, and then cover. Lauren will do, let's see, we'll go ahead and use Peerless Shield Crusher. We will just Blade of Ruin twice, and that's just to, actually, we will Peerless Shield Crusher, Dazzling Bolt, and then Blade of Ruin. That's just to do a small Holy Imperil. Now, we're not going to shift Sora just yet. We're going to do Stun Impact. Mine's going to Imperil with Infinity, and then we're going to do, let's see here. We're going to do Speed Slash to start filling the LB gauge. Friend Sora, same thing. We need to fill the LB gauge as soon as possible so we can get his LB going. So go ahead and do this, and we'll probably use Fina to, I guess, double Shining Cheer here. Yeah, we'll use Fina to double Shining Cheer. So we don't have a defense buff on our Gabranth just yet. It should be fine, though. Turn 1's relatively tame. There's no attack buff yet. We're not imperiled yet. There's the cover ignoring attack. I went to Fina that time. Alright. We're going to go ahead and shift our swords. But first, let's go ahead and seal the counters. Now we need to start sealing the boss. So we used Fire and Ice last turn. We're just going to hit repeat with Rem because she's already set on Fire and Ice. Sora, we're going to shift this turn and go ahead and get an LB going as soon as possible. So we're going to shift. And we're going to get him powered up. We're going to do Ultimate Radiant, and we're going to do Spiral Drove to fill our LB even more. Spiral Drove is a 15 crystal LB fill, so it helps him get it going. Alright, wait for this to finish. Is the boss diseased? She is. We'll go ahead and chain. And this should fill up Sora's LB. Yeah, we're good. So Fina's basically free at this point. We'll just use, let's see, I shouldn't, oh, whatever. Let's go ahead and get a bunch of crystals from the boss, why not? Let's do a resist buff with Fina, and we'll do a Manatopia. Actually, we need to heal. Ooh, the tank is hurt. So we'll do a resist buff, and we'll heal. We'll do a Manatopia next turn. And Gabranth will do Circle of Judgment and Spinning Blade to give himself a bigger defense buff. I actually tried to bring Kairi here, just for the the Kingdom Hearts theme going on, but Kairi cannot refill MP, and as you notice, that's MP drain that Asura is doing. It's kind of a headache, so I kind of had to bring other units like Fina to fill MP. All right, turn 3, we need to do Thunder and Water Seal, so we will do that. And if you need the seal turn chart, the wiki has it, as well as I posted a thing on Reddit that shows what turns the seal win. But this is a Thunder and Water turn. The boss's disease has worn off, so we're going to use Lauren to Bright Storm Flash and this Tempest Flash to apply disease, as well as a 130 Imperil. Hopefully disease lands. It did. So we're going to use Circle of Light twice on these and do some limit. So we should do a decent chunk of damage here. Okay-ish, not bad. Could have been better. It's fine though. Let's have Fina do a heal and a Manatopia, and then Gabranth. I kind of want to shift Gabranth at some point, so we're gonna hope that he gets his LB filled up soon. Okay. Mana drain on the Soaker, which is fine. Alright, so now the boss has an attack buff. You'll notice that every third turn she casts that. Now we could dispel the boss and then like re-break her and all, but we're going to just use Golem to survive that attack buff. Our Gabranth is pretty strong. If yours is not as strong, you might want to dispel the attack buff as well. But we're going to Golem. It's turn 4. Turn 4 needs Wind and Earth, so we will triple cast. We will Earth, Earth, Wind. do that. We're back in base form with Sora, so we're going to stun impact. Let's see, we're going to speed slash to fill LB gauge, and we will, oh no, we need to do the mod boost. So we're going to stun impact, stellar inception, and speed slash. Stellar inception is a permanent modifier boost for the remainder of the fight, so his chaining damage will go up a tiny amount. It's not much. Overall, Sora's chaining damage is on the lower side. It's all about his burst every like 4 or 5 turns, something like that. We still didn't get Gabranth's limit because he's not cooperating with me, to tell you with that. So we're going to Blooming and Divine Veil. Gabranth. Well, you know what we're gonna do with Gabranth? No, we're not. We're gonna do this with Gabranth. We're gonna wait. Gabranth will get his LB soon. The reason I want Gabranth's LB is because I want to get him a permanent defense boost by shifting. I put Pure Lotus in the shift form. It's not the biggest deal, but it is helpful. All right, so there was the attack buff turn. We did a lot of damage, as you can see, but it was fine. All right, so the boss's Holy Imperil is going to be wearing off at this point. Looks like, yes. We need to redo that with Sora. So we'll do speed, speed, and radiant with mine. Friend will do speed, radiant, and infinity. It's turn 5. We need to do seal light and dark. So we're going to triple seal dark with Rem to eat all the counters. Wait for this to finish. So 1, 2, 3. Sealed. Good. Lauren, just to increase damage a tiny amount, will put up Bright Storm Flash, and we'll hit twice. Try to put up Disease. All right, Disease is up. Go ahead and chain this up. Not bad. Fina. Oh, we finally got Gabranth's LB. So we will shift and do this finally. He is in cover still, right? His cover. Yeah, cover is good. So we'll go ahead and do his LB. And now Fina can do, let's do a Manatopia and a heal. The tank needs healing kinda every turn. It's a really painful fight. But the boss does not have an attack buff this turn, so it's fine. Alright. Now I'm going to go ahead and shift back to the base form. At this point, the counters, or the seals, loop back around. We can shift next turn on the Soras. Yeah, stun impact will be ready next turn. Alright, so we're going to use... the seals loop back around, so now we're back on Fire and Ice Seal for turn 6. We'll do this. Next turn, Lauren's Good Break has worn off, so we're going to use her to reapply breaks this turn. We're going to do Blade of Ruin just a few times, it doesn't really matter, just to keep those breaks up. Sora will, let's see, just Speed Slash. Well, actually, we only need 1 Speed Slash. And then we'll do Sunray Blast. Sunray Blast is a slightly higher modifier. The friend is a little bit lower on LB gauge, so we'll do 2 Speed Blast on him. Okay, so we should finish this phase around turn 8 or so, which is actually not bad. Let's go ahead and put Gabranth back in the base form, and we will do... let me think. He should have cover for one more turn, right? Right? He does. So we're good. Fina will heal, and I kind of want to do a resist buff to make Gabranth more tanky. Because we're not curing the Imperils. If your tank is not as strong, curing the Imperils would definitely lower the damage you take. You know, Urish is probably the best way, and one of honestly the only ways to do it, kind of. But, yeah, Urish is a good choice for that. Alright, so turn 7, we need to seal Thunder and Water, so we'll do that real quick. Once Rem finishes her autocast. Alright, so Thunder and Water. Water, Water, Thunder. Thunder and Water, yes. We're going to put up Golem because this is the turn that the boss has the attack boost, so Golem, please save us. We're going to shift our Soras, and their LBs are already filled, so we're just going to use Stun Impact for the attack boost, and then the ultimate and radiant to get their LBs ready to go. That's the power-up method. Let's see. So we're going to stun, ultimate, radiant, Yeah, let's go ahead and do this. And the boss's 85% breaks are going to fade this turn, so this is definitely going to be a more painful than usual turn, but it should be okay-ish. Do I want to do Grounded Fortitude? I kind of want to save that for next turn, but maybe I should do it this turn. We're going to win within 4 turns. I'm going to go ahead and use Grounded Fortitude this turn to reduce damage taken. I think so. I think so. So, Fina, what we're going to do with you is we're going to Blooming Lotus, and we're going to Manatopia to keep that mana high on the team. Okay, so this is the turn that the boss is going to have an attack buff. It's going to hurt more than usual. We did Seal, though. We did Golem. Oh, there goes the mana on Rem. Yeah, she don't. Oh, this hurts. Oh, it hurts so much. We took 35,000 damage on Gabranth. Jeez, this boss is... This is why I said Gabranth is kind of important. She hurts so much. We only had 80% breaks that turn, which is part of the problem, but we still got it. Alright, so here's what I was talking about Rem with the mana reduction. So this is turn 8. Rem had no mana at the start of the turn. Now it's a Wind and Earth turn. With the mana reduction, we can Wind and then double Earth and still do a triple cast even though she had 0 mana. And that way Fina does not have to waste any actions filling her mana. We're going to use Sora to LB. But first, we're going to break, imperil, and hit the boss with Lauren. Hopefully Disease lands. It's not guaranteed. It's only 80%. We got it. Good. Yeah, she's only using Summer Whip as an 80% disease chance. But it's still, you know, really high chance to land. Okay, so nice burst. We're going to definitely get it within the next 2 turns, it looks like. Fina, Alright, Fina, I think we're gonna, Alright, Fina, you know, we're gonna use magic this time. We're gonna Curaja and re-raise on Gabranth just for the absolute safety. I don't think we're gonna need a re-raise, but we're doing it to be safe. And you notice how Gabranth is always covering the counters, so we're getting really good luck on Rem not taking any counters. I have seen a lot of comments, people saying that their tank is being slow at countering. It happens to me all the time on the JP server. When it does, I usually just quit the run and come back. And that's why you don't see it happening in videos very often, because I just, you know, delete the video when that happens and try again. But it does happen, so don't think like, oh, it never happens to Sinzar. It does. I just don't upload those failed clears. I just upload the wins. Alright, so Speed Slash, and we're going to Stellar and Radiant. Turn 9 is Light and Dark, so we're going to Triple Seal Light. Now, it's possible that we could kill the boss here. I don't think we are, but let's go ahead and do our chaining before we do anything. She's already diseased, so we don't really need to do anything else special. Now we're going to get it next turn, which is fine. So we're going to, we're just going to Dazzling and then Blade of Ruin twice. Fina, let's do a Blooming and a Mana. No, let's do a Divine Veil for the resistance. And then Gabranth, we can put up Circle and Volunteered. Alright, so we're definitely going to push the phase change next turn. We can finally stop all this mana drain foolishness. Okay, so turn 10 would be a Fire and Ice Seal turn again, but we're not going to bother because we're about to push the phase. 2 turns, and then we can shift on Sora, so we will just Stun Impact and double Sunray. Let's see. Stun Impact and double Sunray. The boss is imperiled and all. Yeah, it's almost guaranteed that we push the phase. I'm not gonna worry about sealing. Oh, that was close. We almost didn't push that phase. Okay, but we did. So we're gonna Circle of Judgment, and we're gonna use the Magnus here on this phase change because it's gonna be quite painful. He does have cover. He does. So we're gonna do that. Rem will do. We're gonna do AoE re-raise just to be safe because it is possible that bad things could happen and people die. So just to be safe, we're gonna live on and then double Monalchemy to fill her mana back up. There's no more mana drain, so that'll fix the mana for the rest of the fight. Fina is going to top off the tank, and we'll do a Divine Veil for... Actually, we don't need Divine Veil. Well, let's just do it anyway. And Lauren has nothing really to do here. She can just guard. There's no point to Golem because we already did the Magnus on Gabranth. So we're fine. Oh, that's so painful. Okay, so from this point on, we can no longer mix elements. That means we can't shift Gabranth and use his shifted LB. We can't use any attacks from Rem. Yeah, so we're just no more using elements on the boss, except Holy. We're going to stick to one element per turn. Lauren automatically broke the boss, so that's nice. We're going to do Bright Storm, and then just double Blade of Ruin, just to put up poison. We've got one turn on shift. So we're going to... Actually, that means we can use Lauren to Bright Storm and double Blade of Ruin. Yeah. You know, okay. I promise you I'll get it eventually. We're going to Bright Storm, we're going to Dazzling, and we're going to Blade of Ruin. There we go. Let's do it this way. Sora can shift. Stun Impact, 2 turns. We shift next turn. It'll be off the turn after that. Let me think. Yeah, so Sora's attack boost is not going to be up. So we got the delay Sora's shift for 1 turn. Let's go ahead and do this. It's turn 11. The boss is going to cure her debuff soon, so we're gonna save a charge of the Magnus. Then again, no, we're just going to use the Magnus. Whatever. And Speed Slash and Sunray. Yeah, and then we're going to just Speed Slash and double Sunray. Actually, the friend doesn't need to Speed Slash. He's already at max LB. So we'll do it this way. Let's go ahead and chain a little bit. Alright, so from this point forward, we're going to do Golem every turn, so we don't really need physical mitigation on Gabranth anymore. But we do need everything else. And let's do a Manatopia to keep the mana nice and high. Also, Fina's heal applies status immunity to the team, so even though we're not confused immune, Fina's taking care of that for us. Alright, so the boss has her defense and spirit buff, and we're going to time our bursting to land when the defense and spirit buff is not there. So we're not going to shift this turn, even though we could. We're going to wait. We're just going to Stellar, Sunray, Radiant, and actually I'm doing that wrong. I want to do Sunray, Stellar, and Radial. So we're going to do Sunray, Stellar, and Radial. The boss is going to cure her debuffs this turn, so keep that in mind. We're going to go ahead and Golem here. Let's go ahead and do our chaining. Not terrible, I guess. 3 turns on the good break. We're going to do... just keep up poison for more damage. We will do a defense buff with Gabranth. Fina will... let's Blooming and Divine Veil. So this is going to definitely be a very painful turn on Gabranth, because the boss is going to cure her debuffs, and we did not cure the Imperils. So here we go. Diva, cure the debuffs. There's the debuffs, and then Lightning Attack. It wasn't too bad. We actually have okay-ish lightning resist, so it's fine. Alright, so the boss's shield will be down next turn, so you see that. So we can use, let's see, Lauren. We're going to have to use Lauren to use her Magnus here, because her good cooldown is her good break is on cooldown. We'll Imperil, and we'll Blade of Ruin. Sora is going to shift, because next turn the boss's shield is down, so we're going to shift and get it ready. So we're going to Stun, Ultimate, and Radiant. We're going to shift the friend, so we can get a nice burst damage next turn. We're going to Stun, Ultimate, and Radiant. The boss should be able to be diseased at least 1 more point during this fight. It hasn't happened yet, but eventually disease will land again. Alright, and then Fina will, I guess we'll Blooming and Manatopia. That's really all Fina's doing for the rest of the fight, is like Blooming and Manatopia, and then heal every turn. And we'll just do this. Okay. So we're going to burst next turn. And, oh, no, it happened. It happened. Remember I told you how sometimes the boss is going to be a complete jerk and hit someone when the cover is slow? Yeah, the cover was slow that time. That's actually a really annoying turn to happen, because that was when I wanted to do the good light in peril. We're going to do way less damage. We've only got a 65% light in peril up right now. Oh, this feels real bad. So we're going to lose out on a lot of burst damage. This sucks. This sucks. This sucks real bad. Not much you can do about it, though. It happens. It happens. So we'll go ahead and raise her, and we're going to do way less damage. Oh, that was about... It should have been, like, double that. Ouch. What a terrible turn for that to happen on the burst round. Alright. We will not mention it anymore. Every now and then, the boss is going to be... or the tank is going to be slow at covering, and that happens. It feels real bad. Not much you can do about it. It's just a 20% chance per turn for the boss for the tank to not cover counters, and it happened to us. Okay, so we're just gonna keep moving along. You know, it happens. We deal with it. So we're gonna infinity. We're not gonna infinity with mine. We're gonna infinity with the friend, because the friend has not used infinity yet. So he has actually. And we're gonna double fill LB gauge. We're gonna triple fill LB gauge with mine. Lauren will. Let's see, break the boss. We'll do a Bright Storm, and we will do a Blade of Ruin. Rem will Golem. Gabranth will do his thing. We'll go ahead and chain with Sora, and then Fina will, let's do a heal and a Divine Veil. It's turn 15. The boss is going to cure her debuffs on turn 16. Man, we could have had a nice clear if not for that counter cover failing. It also doesn't help that oh, the heal, so obnoxious. All right. Poison landed. So the poison landed second time. Poison will never again work in the fight. It only works twice in the fight, and that was our two uses of poison. We're actually good on LB gauge at this point, so we're gonna just stun. Stellar, and Radiant. So we're going to... Let me think, actually. Do I even want a stun impact? Yes, I do. So we're going to stun, Stellar, and Radial. We'll use Lauren to put up a General's Manifesto. We will Blade twice. We will Golem. Fina will... The boss is curing her debuffs this turn, so we're going to open up. We're going to Divine Veil to make sure Gabranth has his mitigation up. So this is when the boss is going to do a lot of damage. Her debuffs are going to cure in the middle of the turn. And then debuffs are cured. And then she does a fire attack. We have high fire resist, we're fine. Alright, so let's see here. Sora can shift next turn. The boss's defenses and all are down this turn, so we're going to... You know what I should have done? I should have saved Lauren's good in peril for this turn. My bad. Alright, so the boss's debuffs have been cured. She was rebroken automatically by the cooldown, so that's nice. Oh, actually, Bright Storm Flash is ready this turn, so we're good. We're good. We can actually do some good damage here. So Sora will triple Sunray. We will Sunray, Infinity Sunray to keep up the good Holy Imperil for later. Again, we're going to Golem. Do our chaining. Damage is so bad when the shield, when we're not doing LB with Sora. We'll do a Manitopia. Gabranth will just do his thing. So we're gonna get about a 25-ish turn clear if I had to estimate 25, maybe even 30-ish. All right, so the boss's shield is going back up this turn, I think. Yeah, there it is. So we're going to shift next turn to get ready. So this turn, we're going to hang out in the base form. Yeah, we're going to hang out in the base form this turn. We're going to shift next turn and get ready. Yeah, this works out well. Our LBs are good to go, so we're going to do that. Yeah, let's go ahead and do our chaining. Lauren will... let's see, that's on cooldown, so we'll just do Blade of Ruin 3 times. Golem, Gabranth, no, not that Gabranth. And Fina can put up a heal and resist buff. Alright. So we would be around 40% if not for that you know, Lauren death earlier, where we had the good Imperil. Because the boss has 50% resist naturally, so having a lower Imperil is actually kind of a big deal. Which is why it really sabotaged our attempt last time. Alright. So go ahead and shift the Soras. Sora's shift is really slow. It's irritating. All the counter or the auto casting. Do this. So we're gonna save Bright Storm for next turn. So we're just gonna triple blade here. All right. So we need to stun impact and ultimate radiant. Get ready for the burst next turn. Stun impact, ultimate radiant. And I swear, if Gabranth is slow at covering this turn, I'm gonna be real annoyed. I'm gonna be real annoyed. Alright, Gabranth does have cover up. He does. We're gonna use him to defense buff himself. And Fina can just reload. I'm not even sure what she did last turn, but it doesn't matter. There we go. We covered the counters. Perfect. So we're gonna get a nice Imperil this turn and a nice burst finally. Alright. So let's go ahead and wait for all the autocast to finish. This is the turn the boss is going to cure her debuffs as well. So keep that in mind. We're going to Bright Storm. And then we're just going to, you know, whatever. Blade of Ruin twice. The Bright Storm is the big thing we're looking for. That does a 130 Imperil. No, we don't want to do that. Oh, that would be real bad. Don't summon the wrong Esper. Alright, and let's do a burst. We're at 55%, so a proper burst will deal... Oh, 26%. Very nice. With the chaining and the healing, it might actually take 2 bursts to get it done. We're gonna use a Magnus here just to make sure we survive. We've got 2 of them left. We may as well use it on the dangerous turns. So this is gonna be a debuff cure turn. But we had a Magnus, so it was fine. Alright, so Sora back in the base form. We're going to... let's go ahead and wait for all these autocasts to finish. Gabranth, let's put up your cover and stuff. Lauren, we need to break the boss. Our good break is on cooldown. We'll use your last Magnus. We'll do Dazzling and Blade of Ruin. Sora, we will do... Let's go ahead and do an Infinity, Stellar... and Radial. How's the shield looking? 2 turns? Yeah, we're fine. So we'll do a Stellar, a Radial, and a Speed Slash. Wait for this to finish. Let's go ahead and do Chaining. Golem and Fina. I don't know what she did last, but we're going to put up Manatopia. We don't need Manatopia, so we'll do a Resist buff instead. Also because I didn't click Manatopia by accident. Whoops. Alright. And there's the healing. Yeah, we might get it on the next burst phase. 2 turns away. Oh, our LB is really low. So we're gonna stun and double speed. The friend doesn't need double speed, so we're gonna just Sunray twice with the friend. The shield is down next turn, so we're gonna wait on Lauren's good LB or good Imperil for next turn. All right, Lauren will Just blade 3 times, whatever. Just reload you for Branth. Do your thing. Fina, we're going to put up resist buff. Alright, next turn the boss's shield is down, so we can do a little bit of tiny-ish burst damage. Alright, no defense and spirit buff, so we're going to do a little bit of chaining. So no defense and spirit buff this turn. So yeah, we're going to be 2 turns away from the good burst. So, we're good on LB. We'll just use Fina to fill it up if we need to. So we're going to use 3 good chains here with Sunray Blast. And we'll use Lauren to Peerless, Bright Storm, and Blade. Alright, a little bit of damage here. It's probably going to take another rotation to get this done. Because we lost that 10% from that first burst. Ugh, that sucks. Okay, whatever. Alright, so the shield goes up this turn. So we're going to just chain this turn instead of shifting. Yeah, there's the shield. So we're not going to shift until next turn so we can line up our burst properly. This is also the turn the boss cures herself. So we're going to Stellar... Nope, we're not going to Stellar. We're going to Sunray, Stellar, and Radial. And then we're going to Sunray, Stellar, and Radial. Lauren's Good in Peril should be available right now. It's not, actually. So just do that. Reload. Alright, we're going to shift next turn. This is the turn the boss cures her debuffs, so we're going to make sure we have a resist buff up. I probably should have used a Magnus on Branth to be ultimate safety, but we're not going to need it. We're not going to need it. This is the turn the boss heals too, I think. Oh my god, we did need the Magnus. Look at that. Ouch. Big ouch. But hey, we survived. Technically. So the shield is down next turn. Yes. So we're going to shift. And stun ultimate radiant. We're going to shift. Come on. Stun ultimate radiant. Lauren will imperil blade, and we're going to save the good imperil for next turn. Cool. Okay. And then Gabranth will circle and judges. Fina will heal and Manitopia. Okay, so we might win on turn 26 if we do 27%. Probably not going to. Probably going to win on turn 27. But let's give it a go. Lauren will Good Imperil. And then whatever. Doesn't matter what else. Circle of Light. Circle of Light. I wish there was a way to cure breaks on the team. Alright, Sora, let's do it! Come on, come on, 27%! Oh, Sora, what a derp! What a derp! He didn't do it. We did cover recently on Gabranth, right? Yeah, we did. Golem and Fina will Blooming and Dark Veil. So we'll get it next turn. Yeah, next turn should be fine. Okay, so a 27 turn clear, unless the boss heals this turn. No healing. 27 turn clear. Not bad. Not bad at all. Sora will, let's see, Infinity, Stellar, and Radial. Friend Sora will just Sunray, Stellar, and Radial. Let's see, Lauren, I don't know if the boss is Imperil to Light right now, so we will just Imperil to Light to be safe. Wait for this to finish. So we didn't get all missions because the boss, because the tanks was slow at countering one turn. Uh-oh, are we gonna? We did it. 27 turns. So I didn't get all missions because the tanks was slow at covering one of the counters. That is gonna happen every now and then. The only real solution for that is to keep Guts on your unit, and that won't even be a foolproof thing because, you know, Guts eventually wears off if it happens twice. But yeah, so there was a 27 turn with Sora. Could have been 23 turns if we hadn't had that failed counter. Okay. See you guys for another one at some point. Later.